everyone, this is Jan, and today I'm going to show you how to do a heart table topper, and I have it right here, and I have used my design center to do this one, and this is berry frost in the middle. You can get that on Gloria Horn. This is just a rose fabric that I had left over. The lettering is from Love to Stitch, and then we have our filler here, and then we have candle wicking on the outside here. Now I chose a 9.5 by 9.5 hoop for the Stellaire. I'm on a Stellaire 2 here, and then after I did this, I realized that Gloria has done this, and here's her instructions. And at the end of the show, I'll go ahead and show you where you can go and print out the instructions, and she also has a video that you can watch on how she did it. The only thing I did that was any different was go ahead and add the lettering to it. But you'll have printed instructions out. How neat is that? So what you need to do first is I'm going to go over here, and we want to go into our shapes box here. Now I've made sure that my hoop, I'm in 9.5 by 9.5, and I have a little grid there on. Clicked OK, so I want to go into shapes. I want to go to a heart. Click OK. Now I want to resize this, so we're going to go to size. And I'm going to increase this as far as I can go. I want about a 1/2 inch. 878. I can go to 9. There's 9. So I'm good on the outside. And I'm pretty good up here too. So you can choose just as long as it fits within your hoop area. That's all that matters. And then I'm going to center it, and then OK. Now what we have to do next is this is going to be our placement line, but we want to go ahead and change this little dip here for the heart. And this one here, I didn't do that because I did this before I realized Gloria had instructions and stuff. And if you don't do that, you're going to get, it's going to pucker back here for you, for one thing, when you turn it inside out. And then when you face it this direction, you're going to have to clip the threads here, 2 or 3 threads here. And it's just easier to go ahead and correct it while you're in My Design Center or IQ Designer. So what we're going to do is we want to change that little dip there. We want to make it more rounded. So for that, I need to go into our line properties. I have a straight stitch, and I want the open pencil up here. So click those two. I did it red so I could see it, so click OK. Now what I want to do is I want to change that little dip there, so I'm going to enlarge this so that I can see it better. I want to go even higher than that. That looks good right there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest my hand on the counter here that I have, or desk, and I want to make a little arch right here. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to rest my hand there. I'm going to try to dip it so you can see it. And I'm going to start out here. And keep your hand on this. Now, I like that, but I want it up higher. So I'm going to undo it, and I want it up. I'm going to start it up here. So touch. Keep the pencil on the screen. I keep doing that. Let's redo that. I keep coming down too far. Let's start up here. I need you to see it. So I'm going to touch. And go right across like a little smile there. Okay? That looks okay to me. So now what I want to do is I want to erase these that are over here. So I'll touch the box. Box is out there. Come over here and I'll erase it right next to that. Come over here, touch out here, pull it in, erase that right there. Okay, now come down here. And I'm going to erase the bottom part there. One more, there we go. Come over here. One more there. Now that looks straight to me. I really don't want it straight. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it because I'm not going to stitch it out. I already have one stitched out here. But when you're doing yours, unless, let me check something here. You don't have to do this, what I'm doing. I'm going to start right here. Oh, that's eraser. We want to get up here to the pencil. I'm going to start right here and see if I can. No, it's still. I want it to dip. Now see that side. Hang on, this is. Well, it's going to do it that way anyway, right? I could do a little. I think that would be better. It wouldn't be so straight. Let's go to the eraser. Might take you a while to to get this. It just looked too straight to me. Okay. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, I've got the eraser on just a minute here. Hang on, everybody. There. I think if you do it faster, you'll do better at it, maybe. That's what I did. I just did it a little faster. Okay. Over here, touch. Oop, 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 oop. Make sure you don't, here we go. It still looks square to me for some reason. Anyway, you mess with it and you can get it any way you want to. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave it. It seems to want to be square across there. Okay, so we have that. Alright. And I want to check to be sure. Yes, we have that. We have this. And we have this. And let's go out to 100. Okay. Still looks square to me, but maybe it won't look square when we turn it inside out. And what is that? Okay. So let's go ahead and go here. Let's go to our machine. I did the out pocket. Okay, now let's go next. And this is our running stitch, and I like to change mine to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks. And let's go set. Preview. Okay. Alright, and now we have it right up here. Now the placement line is going to end up being our backing line also. Okay. So this is going to let you know how big of a piece of batting you need for your heart when you put it in the hoop and you start sewing it. Now I always do my next line, which is going to be the batting line. I want that smaller than what this placement line is, because I don't want the batting to be in the seam on the last backing stitch. So I want to bring it in a little bit. So let's go, I have to go set OK. There we go. So now we have the red line, and what I want to do is add a batting line. So I'm going to go add. I'm going to go ahead and do my design center. And now we go to this pocket right here. So we'll touch that, we'll go to our machine. And here's our heart right here. Okay, what I do is I mark the last 3 numbers of that heart, put it in my notes, so that if I have to pull it up again, I know which one it was. Because I've got other hearts on here when I did this one and didn't do the center part here. So we're going to pull up this heart here. We're going to go set. Okay, now we're going to go to line properties. Well, let's change the size first. Let's go size. And I want this to go down maybe, I have here 5 clicks. Here's our key to go smaller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can see that it went down. You may have to do 6, 7. And then I'm going to go center. I'm going to go OK. Now let's go to line properties. And I want to change the color. I want a straight stitch. I want green for the batting. I want OK. Go to the bucket. Let's touch it green. It turned green. Now I don't need to save this one, so we'll go next. I do want to change the stitching again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clicks. Set. Preview. OK. Okay, it looks good to me. Set. OK. Alright, and there's our green. Now what you want to look for in this is to be sure that $200 as far as I can go on this. What you want to be sure is, let's see, we'll go up this way. I don't know, you probably can't even see this, is that this green line is inside the red line. You want to be able to see the red line is at the top and the green line is right underneath it. You don't want the green line right on top of the red line. And you may have to edit this and go a little smaller, and I think I do. So I'll touch edit, I'll touch size, and what I'll do is I will come in one more click. Now see how much difference that made in just one little click. Okay, let me go up. Now see, the greenness is on the bottom here. That's what we want. So I'm going to leave it at that and center it. Now let's go back to 100. And I can even see it on this screen here. We just want that batting to be not in that seam line. Okay? So we got that done. That's the batting. Go OK. Actually, you're going to do the inner fabric on this. You're going to do the inner fabric on this. And then you're going to go ahead and do your fill on top of that. So it's not the border fabric, it's going to be the inner fabric. So what we need to do is we need to make a heart that is smaller. So we're going to go add, Let's go to My Design Center. Let's go to Objects and Shapes. Go to the heart. Go OK. And for this one, we want 6 inches. Let's go to size. It's at 5. So we want it just a little bigger. So let's make this, I have 6.22 by 7.52. Okay, so this one would be 7. $6.22. Let's go about $6.25, because I changed the shape when I did these notes, so that's why it's a little bit different. Okay, I'm at $6.25 by 6.76, so that's a couple of inches, and that's what you want. Now I'm going to center that. I'm going to go OK. Now we're going to go up to Line Properties, and I'm going to change the color. I'm going to change it to a blue, and I want a straight stitch. OK. I'm going to go to the bucket. I'm going to turn it blue. And I am going to save this one because we're going to need it for candle wicking. So let's go ahead and go to our pocket right here. We want to save it in the pocket. Go next. I'm going to change this 5 clicks. I'm going to go Set. I'm going to go Preview. OK. And then we're going to go Set, OK. And there's our heart there. Now I'm not changing this part right in here. I'm keeping that the same. Now it will be a little bit bigger on the outside edge, but that doesn't bother me at all. I think it looks fine. It looks good to me on the placement of it. And so I'm going to keep that, and that would be to stitch down this here, the inner fabric. Now I'm going to go Add. Let's go to My Design Center, and we want to go ahead and pull up our one we just saved. Go to the machine. There it is right there. I'm going to pull that up. Set. And I want to go into Line Properties, and I want a no-sew on that. Click OK. Go to the bucket, touch the line, should turn it gray color. Now go right down here to Fill Properties, so we're going to go here. Now choose your fill, select, and for Valentine I always choose the roses number 4. Go OK, and I'm going to use, I'll just use a different blue over here. OK, go to the fill bucket, click inside. As long as your design doesn't go everywhere, you don't have any holes in it. Okay, I'm going to go next because I want to change this. Now for the fill, I went to 150, so 130, 150, somewhere in there. Okay, let's go Set. Now I didn't change anything here. Direction, outline. I want to make sure the outline is on though. And then go Set. Now I want to preview. Okay. go. Got 3 big roses, one over here, one there, and one there. That looks good, so I'm going to set. Okay. Alright, and that would be our center fill here. So once we have our fill, now that we have the fill, what we want to do is put on our lettering if we have our lettering. Go ahead and go add. Okay, we're going to go to the USB. Not loaded, okay. There we go. Now on mine, I chose this one here that says love, and it's 2 inches by 7.5 inches. That's the one I chose, and it fit just perfect in there. So I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to go like that. Okay, we're going to go set. Alright, now for this one, I'm going to have to rotate it. Okay, so I'm going to go edit, I'm going to rotate, and we're going to go 90 degrees this way. Okay, and then I moved it up. Now it looks like I'm going to have to do sizing on it. See, if I go in the middle, it's going to be way down there. So I had to bring it up some. About like that. Okay. Now, on size, we need to make it smaller. We need to make it smaller going this way, okay? So let's make it smaller. We want it smaller. Is it gonna? No. Oh, I know, because when you bring it in, it's this way. So here, let's do it this way. Is it going to let me? Maybe it's not going to let me. It's going to let me. There we go. Okay, now it's inside the box. Alright, so if I center that, it's going to move it here, so I went ahead and moved it up a little bit, somewhere around in there. And then I push OK. Now when you sew this out, it has a box around it, which is the thread color is black. And what I had to do was just go ahead and skip that thread color because I didn't want that to sew out. That's the only thing that you have to remember about these designs, is that they do have a box around it. I can't remember what the box is for, but you don't want to sew the box, okay? And it's usually black. Now on these machines you can push a no-sew on it, but I'm this little thing here, the no-sew, whenever you're sewing, and that would eliminate it too. I just skip over it on it. So there we have our lettering, our text. Now the next thing we want to do is we've got our text in. Now what we need to do is do our border fabric outline. So for that, our border fabric tack down. So for that, I would need to come in and pull up the red heart that we have. So we'll go add my design center, go to our pocket here, go to the machine, and I want to pull up the red heart. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to set. And I can leave it red. That way I know it's the outside one. So we'll go next. And I want to change this to 100. Okay, set. Okay, preview. Okay. Set. Okay. Alright, so we should have another red heart down here. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to do the inner tack down line. So now we want to go ahead and go add, back to My Design Center. We want to go to the pocket, the machine. We want the blue heart, so let's pick the blue heart, set. Next. Let's change this. 5 clicks. Set. Preview. Okay. Blue. Set. Okay. And that should have the blue heart. Now that should be the inner tack down line. Then once we have the inner tack down line, then before we do the candle wicking, what we need to do is cut this inner fabric out. It's going to have the border fabric on top of this whole thing, and we need to trim out the center part. That's like a reverse applique. Okay, so we need, once we trim that out, then what we need to do is we can go ahead and put our candle wicking on. So we're going to go add, we're going to go My Design Center, and we're going to go in the pocket, and we need to go to the machine. We need to pick up our blue heart, set, and for the candle wicking, let's go up to Line Properties. I want candle wicking, and I want to change the color. I usually change it to a gold. Okay. Get our bucket, change it to gold, and I don't need to save this either. We can go next. Now for the settings, I do mine a little different than what Gloria does. For the size, I go up to 3. Oops, one more. I go to 3. For the spacing, I bring it all the way down to 0. Okay, set. Preview. Okay. Alright, and there's our candle wicking, and as long as we have one candle wicking right in that point there, that's good. And we have a point down here. So let's go set. Okay. Alright, there's our candle wicking. Now the last thing that we need to do is we need to put our backing on. So again, I'm going to go add, and My Design Center, and we want to go into Pocket, our machine, pick up the red line again right here, set, and for that, need to go up to Line Properties, straight stitch, and for that one, let's do purple. Purple. Okay, go to our bucket here, touch the line to turn it purple, and I don't need to save that either. Now for some reason I have the back line, but I don't need to set that, so let's go next. Okay, I'm going to change that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Set. Preview. Okay. And set. Okay. Now, it looks like everything is centered on it. So I'm just checking everything. I'm going to go up here. Well, actually, it has this little hoop here. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click the plus button up here. Okay, I want to see this in motion stitched out to make sure everything's lined up. So I'm going to go to the needle here. I'm going to go OK. Oops, I backed out of it. Sorry. Go to this and go to this one right here. There's our placement line. There's our batting line. There's our inner fabric. There's our fancy fill. Now we can speed that one up. There's our lettering. There's our hearts. There's our candle wicking. And our back fabric. But everything seems to be lined up the way it's supposed to. I'm going to push OK. Now, before you go ahead and stitch this out, you want to save this in memory to the machine before you stitch it out, and you can go right over here. If you need to make any changes, you go up here to edit. Okay, and you can do a few changes on here. Now I wonder, let's see, well, I'll check on that later. I was going to see if I could put my no-sew on that. So if I touch embroidery, you heard my machine kick on. Now remember, if you do these love stitches, you want to make sure this color right here. Let's see if I can move this. Let me show you this. The black color here, or dark gray, don't stitch that one. If I go in here and I move it down, watch my little box here. There's the batting line. Okay. There's the fill. Now see that line right here? See that box? That is on all of the Love to Stitch designs. I can't remember what it's for, but you're going to bypass it, and you're not going to stitch that out. I did that the first time. I wasn't paying attention, and it stitched it. I had to take it all out. Okay, so there's the box. Okay, next there's your lettering. There's your hearts. There's your backing. I think that would be the backing. No, this would be the outer, inner candle wicking. Then that would be your backing. Okay. Okay, going to return. Okay, everyone. That is our little topper here, and I need to tell you where to go to get these instructions. So I have it. I don't know if you can see it. If you can see right here. Can you read that right there? You're going to go to her Facebook group, and then up on the top there, you're going to see files. So you click on files, and on the files, you're going to see a little magnifying glass that is a search engine. So in that search engine, you type in Valentine. Okay, let's see if I can get this where you can see it better. Type in Valentine, and it will pull up your instructions for the machine. You can print them out. I printed instructions for both machines. I have the Solaris 2, and I also have a Stellaire 2. So I printed them out for both of them, and then I went ahead and watched her video while I was there, so you can save everything that she has there, and then that way you will have reference to it. So I'm not going to do a continuing video on this because you already have the instructions for this. Just have fun with this. Change your designs in this if you want to. Put your grandkids' names in here and do a little holder up here so they can hang it on the wall. Grandma loves you, or just put their name and they can hang it on the outside of their door or something. They love little things like this. This could be a mug rug. They could put it on their dresser in their bedroom and stuff like that. Give them away as a gift. Nursing home patients, they love little things like this, and then that way they would think about you when they see it. All right, everyone, if you have any questions, make sure you on Facebook Messenger you can send me a message. If you have anything that you've done, you want to send me a photo, send me a photo. Love to see what you're doing, and just have fun with this. So anyway, thanks a lot, and until next time, I'll have something for St. Patrick's Day, and we'll go from there. All right, bye for now.